All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for making it back to the channel. I go by the name ShotofADRENALIN, and today we are once again talking about Jigga Man, Jay-Z, Afro Hov, all of the in-betweens of Jay-Z touching the stage at the Roots picnic. Now, the whole world is talking about the shots he done sent at this one, and that one, and this one, and that one over there, which is perfectly fine. We're going to jump into it a little bit as well, too. But there's really only 5 takeaways we're going to talk about from this Jay-Z performance. First thing is first, the Rocafella reunion. Now, State Property has reunited a bunch of times over the years, which has been dope. It's always been ill to see those guys come back together, but the missing piece was always Jay. For whatever reason, you know, maybe time didn't heal enough wounds or whatever schedules, whatever it may have been. It was never Jay there, especially for those standout records where, you know, Jay was either an anchor verse or he was just part of the record. It was amazing to see him team back up with State Property. Of course, the entire rock wasn't there, i.e. Dame did the dash. But that's for obvious reasons. Now, I think that reunion stood out because in the midst of all the people that he was getting ready to diss and all the criticism he's had over the years within hip hop, I think him being able to get his old quote unquote bandmates back together and really create that moment also shows that he's outside in a different kind of way. Meaning like, oh yeah, y'all done teamed up and got this, that, and the third, but don't forget who I am. This is who I bring to the table. And I think it was very important to show certain alliances as he went into this freestyle. Number 2, Hov is on offense.
We played enough defense. 2026 is all offense.
I think this is one of those plays. The first play was announcing the Yankee Stadium run, the 3 shows, which is going to be happening in a matter of weeks at this point. The second play in the offense, I believe, is this Roots Picnic performance because he's now defending himself. Now, we all know that when Jay goes on the offense against you with bars, he essentially has a point to prove. I think the point that he had to prove this time around was that you can still last this long in rap, entertainment, politics, relevancy within your art form without having to succumb to what people say you have to succumb to. That's what led to these bars being so dense about all of these people. Think about it. He's had years to just listen, observe, feel away, heal through some of the things that he's seen some of his peers say about him. Any and everybody that got astray, I think deserved it. You're dealing with a rapper here. So we're talking about someone who's going to internalize feelings and really play with language to express how he feels. With the example with Nicki, he was replicating the same stutter and, you know, the stage movement that she did when she was fumbling her words on stage a couple years ago.
I mean, I don't fuck with horses. I said it's 700 horses when we fixing to leave.
That lady back on the stuff, she sound like she in love with him. Her king can't even take their kids. Enough of them.
Like, you got to remember that and say, oh, okay, yeah, you've been on some bullshit. Let me figure this out now. That's L. Also, the direct response to Drake.
My next update, the jig is up. Nigga, I'm up 10. Wrong chart, champ. You gotta look up again. Niggas look up to Hov. I never looked up to them. The crackers got your publishing gangster. Go talk tough to them. Don't talk success to me. You niggas is workers. In perpetuity is how your contract is worded. A lady goes first, man.
He's not looking at this like we're even on the same type of time. Now, in certain ways, you can debate that. But if he's talking about, yo, we're not even on the same charts, I'm up 10. Like, we know that to be true in certain ways. So yeah, it's a money flex, but it also shows that I've been able to expand and do so much that I'm not even worried about a rapper being my op. It's a real thing. Perfect segue into the MAGA Republicans part.
A rapper can't be my op. I I got MAGA Republicans. Them shots came from the very top of the government. Good luck with them. I'm governed by God. You trying to break the government.
Him talking about that is showing that I've been in conversations that threaten my entire legacy. And I'm doing that willingly because I love this hip hop shit, but I'm also Sean Carter. I think anybody in this position, whether it could be Nas, it could be your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, if you survive to that point of relevancy and just business, yeah, especially as a black man, you got to be able to know when and where certain shots are coming from. And of course, him dissing Dame Dash was probably my favorite part, because now we're talking about someone who is so close to you, like saying all this shit about you. And, you know, whether we want to say it's for clickbait, whether we want to say he's just down on his luck, like, this is who I wanted to hear him respond to. I thought he may just be silent about it and just let Dame be Dame and, you know, let the scoreboard talk. But yeah, you want to snap jokes on me? Like, all right, let's snap some jokes. Let's really talk. The harshest jokes are the ones that really are baked in truth. And we saw Dame's teeth fall out of his mouth.
Just see me, see if I'm the real deal.
That says something. Hey, look, I love Dame. Let's be real. I think seeing where Jay is now when it comes to how he handles conflict in hip hop, yeah, we could say it kind of contradicts what he said in that GQ interview about, I'm not sure if battling is necessary now.
We love the excitement, and I love the sparring and the music you get. Mm-hmm. But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it that you almost wish it didn't happen. And it goes far too. I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth. Where the fallout lands, especially on, like, you know, on social media, which takes place every day.
Yeah.
And now you have these pods of cult. You know, maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, you know, I sound like the old guy wagging the finger.
But nah, it's still a very necessary part of hip hop. And we talked about that on this channel. So check that out if you want to hear that perspective. All right, the third point. Afro Hov. I think it speaks to him representing himself and all that helped him become who he is today. Think about it. Well, a black man wearing his crown out like that, that symbolizes power, it symbolizes strength, and it also speaks to him talking about being on offense. You know, it's very Panther coded, it's very Riley and Huey from the Boondocks. It's also very militant because, look, being black in this country is a political statement, and for some reason, our skin, our hair, it comes off as defense to some people. So sometimes you got to be able to lean into it, especially knowing you are going to war with a lot of different factions. In Hov's case, he's talking about, you know, the Republican Party and the Trump administration and the whole Epstein file thing. And like, just knowing that people aren't going to just do the research or just use their common sense and see that I'm nowhere involved in this. We can say what we want, but we all know that was an FBI tip line. It was an FBI tip line. That's a joke. That's a joke. And it was done strategically to make him look bad. I think by now, real ones know that that's what took place. And if you didn't, then, you know, you got to bust them books and Google's open, all right? Number 4, there's clearly another Jay-Z music run coming. Album is definitely coming soon. And I remember when he did the exhibit at the Brooklyn Library, there was word going around that there was one of like the library tags or something that showed every one of his albums, and then there was one missing at the end, meaning the most current one. And people were like, oh snap, is that like a little Easter egg that there's something coming? I believe it to be. You know, I definitely believe it to be, and I think this is even more reason to speculate whether he goes back to the classic Caesar. Maybe not. Maybe Afro Hov is the new wave, and that's, you know, going to speak to a lot of his energy. So we'll see. I think it was very important for him to show something else as he's entering this next phase of his career. you know, for better or worse, you know, it adds to the story of Jay. And lastly, number 5, this is a timestamp in Hov's career. When he does freestyles like this at his shows, it usually serves as a timestamp of where he's at status-wise, what his thoughts are, and essentially what his opinion is of this game we love so much called hip-hop. This is similar to when he did the B-Sides concert, and that's when, you know, he gave all these legendary bars about,
I don't take no checks, I take my respect. Pharrell even told me go with the safest bet. Jimmy Iovine offered the safety net. Google dangle round a crazy check. I feel like YouTube is the biggest culprit. The niggas pay you a tenth of what you're supposed to get. You know niggas die for equal pay, right? You know when I work, I ain't your slave, right? You know I ain't shucking and jiving and high-fiving. You know this ain't back in the days, right?
this is no different than that. Even the political element of this freestyle, I think it shows how hard he took those accusations, because he's really talking some tough shit, especially about Tony Buzbee, which I think is really the main target here, because that could have ended a lot of things. Should it have gone the wrong way? It stood out to me when he was like, yo,
Hattie's turned at 100. If she would have transitioned before I cleared my name, I would have hunted them. Every one of them playing these silly games. That 1-800 ambulance chaser would have wished one came. But 911 is a joke. Public enemy #1, I've been ranked.
I respect that, because now we're getting into the human side of things. Because if you know that's not true, and on the biggest of platforms, these words and accusations are being levied against you, oh yeah. I mean, you gotta fight back. And thankfully, the way that he fought, I think it showed everybody that it was BS. Like, we know that. If you still believe opposite, look, bro, like I said earlier, crack open them books and a Google. Have a good day. It also showed who he is, not just as a rapper or as a businessman. I think it also showed him like as a father, because he kept dropping a lot of bars about his kids, specifically in response, I believe, to Kanye, when he was like,
You ever heard of a wonder kid? My children is some of them. Have you niggas no shame? Y'all trying to get under skin? I really get under skin. Ask how I'm playing. Y'all thugs with y'all thumbs again. Everybody think they're the ones insane. You're no maniac. Watch y'all saniac in my presence, nigga, straight. I need a new therapist. This shit is not working. I'm truly on the brink. Y'all better not encourage him. Y'all don't want me to think these thoughts that I think.
Kanye said some wild things about Jay and Beyonce's kids, which, you know, we won't repeat here. If you want to dig it up, then dig it up. But I think it speaks to like, yo, I took all this in. I took all of this energy in. So now when it's my turn, watch this. I think that as a timestamp specifically shows like where he is, what he's willing to do artistically, what he's willing to do socially in order to not just grow, but show you how far hip hop can really take it. Whether we love Jay or hate Jay, we also know that Jay is important to this culture to a degree. So, you know, moments like this have to be recognized. And yeah, I'm very glad to have seen it. And shout out to everybody who made it in person to the Roots picnic. But with that being said, these are the 5 takeaways from Jay's performance. I hope you enjoyed them. If you think what I'm saying is a crock of shit, let me know in the comments. If you fuck with it, let me know in the comments. I go by the name ShotofADRENALIN. Like, subscribe, hype, all the things. Take action. Thank you so much for tapping in on this video. If you're interested in learning more about the music or the creative talks that we have on this channel, please feel free to subscribe right here on YouTube. And of course, you can follow me on all socials at ShotofADRENALIN. Take action.